Welcome everybody to Ask the Expert series with the Martin Eiden team. And second Thursday of the week. So Alex Magoob, it's your week. Take it away, Alex.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Can we be in a speaker mode here, speaker view? Wonderful. Love it. So I'm number one, I'm super excited to be doing episode 19, which is just truly extraordinary, right? Episode 19 here. And we have a very good friend of mine, Karen Vincent, who is the Director of Training and Client Experience at the Dale Carnegie, New York City Institute for Excellence. Karen, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Excited to be
here.
All right,
Karen.
Hello.
So just as a little tie-in, so Alex, how long have you been doing Dale Carnegie for?
Well, I've been doing Dale Carnegie for over a year now. I've taken a bunch of classes there. I've learned a lot. It's been such a magical, helpful experience, and that's why we're here today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, so Alex has given our team a lot of stuff, Karen, and I'm the sidekick on it, so I'm going to laugh at all the jokes. So
somebody has to.
That was my intro with Alex and Dale Carnegie. Right.
So Karen, tell us a little bit just about yourself. Where are you right now, and how'd you even get into this whole world of personal development, of self-improvement?
Okay, so right now I live in Connecticut, so northwestern Connecticut, which is about 2.5 hours outside of the city. But I do work for Dale Carnegie in New York City, and I got involved with Dale Carnegie really by accident. I had a good friend who sold it 20 some years ago, and she said, I need to fill my class, so you need to take it. And I said, okay, not knowing what I was getting myself into. I had no idea, never really heard of Dale Carnegie before. And as a result, I learned so much about myself. I was able to gain confidence and really become a risk taker. And as a result, I wanted to share that with other people. So I graduated from the program and then started working for them immediately afterwards.
You've worked for Dale Carnegie how long?
20 years.
20 years. Amazing. And because I've done the work, I know how powerful it is. But for people who are listening, who are tuning in right now, they may not have actually heard ever, who is Dale Carnegie?
Yes, and that is a question that comes up often. Dale Carnegie, most people know Dale Carnegie from his books. He wrote the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the book.
Hey, which book was that?
Classic.
That's it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, one of the greatest business books of all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you haven't read it, definitely pick it up. But yeah, go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, and the other book, which is just as impactful, is especially in today's world, is How to Stop Worrying and Start Living.
Wow.
And so it includes 30 tools and techniques to support you in letting go of worry. It's not even stress, but how do we not worry? And how do we live for today and help us to be more successful because our brain isn't being clogged with worry?
Yeah, that's great, Karen. I just want to interject on that because, look, so I've been in, in the business as a real estate broker for 21 years. And this is my 4th Black Swan event that I've had, right? I've had the .com bomb. I had 9/11, I had the Great Recession of 2008 to 2010, and now we have COVID. So that's basically a Black Swan event once every 5 years. Odds are it's going to happen again. We don't know what it is. So expect the unexpected in a way and how to deal with that. I think that's really powerful.
Well, not only that, but how do you stay positive when it is your 4th time?
Mm-hmm.
Right. How do we not replay what happened the last time this happened and the time before that when it happened? And so the more it happens, the easier it is for us to replay those events in our head. And then we create realities that we don't want to create.
And definitely we're going to share a bunch of principles for you guys to think about, to work with, to help both, manage stress and worry, but maybe just be a better human in the world. So, I'm curious, Karen, because you've been doing this, 20 years, 2 decades, what types of people come into your program and why do they come? What brings them there?
Oh, that is a loaded question because really it is so varied. Like I have had anybody from a 14-year-old kid in my program to I had a gentleman who was 75 years old. And he called me up. He's like, I want to take the Dale Carnegie course. And I was fairly new at Dale Carnegie. I'm like, are you sure? Like, do you really realize what you're signing up for? And he's like, yes, it'll keep me young. And he came in and he was a spitfire, and everybody in the program just kind of rallied around him. So there is no common type of person. It really is anybody who has a recognition that something needs to change. Like they have the ability to shift something, whether it's in how they communicate, how they lead, their attitude, how they interact with other people and get along with other people. So it's a matter of they recognize they need a change, and somebody along the way says, why don't you look into Dale Carnegie? Because anybody who's taken Dale Carnegie has a Dale Carnegie story about how they are a different person as a result of going through the process of one of our programs.
Yeah, I think I've heard a few times that Warren Buffett says that the one education class that he took that he feels had a tremendous impact on his life was the course at Dale Carnegie, because you learn really powerful principles that help you be a better human person, father, brother, real estate broker, whatever it might be, you can become better. So to your point, I think no matter where someone is in their life, they can be a better version of themselves. And the coursework, it's an 8-week program, that initial course. And I know you guys do a bunch of different types of classes. But, I guess my question for you is this, Dale Carnegie wrote that book, like 100 years ago, right?
1936.
Yeah.
Wow.
So not even, but a long time
Close
ago.
enough. 100. Round it up.
My math is so,
Just like a broker.
He started Dale Carnegie training in 1912.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So there you go. You're covered.
Yeah, the organization has been around since 1912. The book was published in 1936.
So I think people are always curious, where did Dale Carnegie come up with these principles? Did he just sit down one day and say, I think this is a good idea, and I think that is a good idea? Can you just talk about, I guess, the research that was involved in coming up with these principles?
And that's the gap between him starting the Dale Carnegie Institute and the publishing in 1936, because Dale Carnegie didn't just sit down one day and say, I have all the answers. He started by teaching public speaking to businessmen. And very shortly after he started that, he realized that he ran out of things to talk about. So he had at one of his sessions, he had this brilliant idea of just letting the participants talk. And so he asked them and he said, okay, stand up. And so what evolved is what still happens today in the Dale Carnegie program is individuals talking about what makes them successful. So it was within all of these seminars that he did and interviewing successful people of his time that he started to notice some common themes of what creates success. And he started off just writing pamphlets that he would use in his program. And then at one point, a publisher friend of his said, Dale, you've got a book here. Wow. You should put all of this material together in one book. And that's how to Win Friends and Influence People came to be.
Yeah. And I think that's just such a great story for people who may, have a passion or an idea. It's if you follow what your dreams are, or you follow what you're interested in, eventually the universe kind of gives it to you, you know, like he started this class to help people publicly speak. He noticed a couple of other things that he found fascinating. You know, he thought to himself, I can put together these ideas, these principles, write them in a pamphlet and share them with people with the purpose of making them better, of helping them achieve whatever they want, you know? So, you know, to me, the work is so powerful. Even if you're already a rock star, you could become a 2-time rock star, you know? But enough about like talking about, you know, around the principles. I want to kind of dive in and maybe give people like a little bit of an appetizer for what this coursework is like and some of the things you might learn. So I have my little handy dandy Dale Carnegie Golden Book. All the principles are in here. So this is for
It says Golden Door. That's pretty exciting.
Golden Book.
Oh, it's his book. Okay. I can't read. That's all right.
Martin, it can be a doorway into.
It's a golden door, right?
You're just.
Can I just ask one question? What is there any relation between? I know. Is there any relation between Andrew Carnegie and Dale Carnegie?
That is a interesting question, and no. Andrew Carnegie was friends with Dale Carnegie, and Dale Carnegie really looked up to Andrew Carnegie because at the time, you know, Andrew Carnegie was the person that really exemplified success.
Yeah.
So the interesting story about that is Dale Carnegie changed the spelling of his last name to be the same as because there used to be a Y in his original spelling of Dale Carnegie.
Got it.
I know all of the dirt on this call.
I'm throwing off Alex's organized questions here, but I wanted to know.
No, that's good. That's all good.
Dale Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie's poor brother. Okay.
Yeah, Martin. I think that is everyone's first question. They're like, "Who is Dale?" And then question number 2 is he related to Andrew? No, that's a very common question, and it's not on my list, but I did think about asking. So let's dive into some of these principles because I just think they're so powerful. And something I want to share is, you know, everyone in real estate has been literally nonstop since June 22nd, running around. You know, we're dealing with different clients, landlords, sellers, buyers, renters. Everyone has a tremendous high level of anxiety. And me personally, I found myself like really wound up, and someone says something the wrong way. I'm like, what do you want? You know, and they're like, whoa, I just asked if you could put a half bath in here, you know, it wasn't a big deal. And, you know, recently I was able to get away from the city and take a day or two, and I came back much more refreshed. And I've been so nice to people, and I see how people are receiving it. And that makes me feel better. And then I feel better. So I'm better. So that's the power of this work. Is it makes your life just easier if you can be a friendlier person.
Tell me about it. People ask me all the time, like, how do you get through life? And I like, I've got 2 teenagers and life is good. And, you know, people usually be like, teenagers, what? I'm like, my teenagers are great.
Yeah, because you know how to manage. You know how to manage yourself, you know? So let's jump into some of these. Some of these are great. If you guys aren't taking notes yet, this is the time to take out the pen and pad. So number 1 is maybe my favorite. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. You ever be around people who are like, oh my God, why is it? Do you like being around people like that? No, right? And the funny thing is, I think all of us fall into these traps, right? That maybe you're having a bad day. Now everything that's happening in your day, you're hypercritical about. Like, why does it have to be like this? I don't understand like that, you know? And it's when you remove that language, that garbage, that all of a sudden your day is better because you're not focusing on every little negative or pointing it out.
That is when I talk about these principles in our programs, it's always the one principle that people raise their hands like, yes, that's the hardest one. And it is because, I mean, we are inundated with negativity. Right. Everywhere we go, everything that we see online, everything we see in the news, there's so much negativity. And the interesting thing about this principle, and I love to do this, so anybody who is listening to this, think about this. I've asked thousands of people in my career to raise their hands if they like to hang around with a person who is critical, who complains all the time. I ask, do you like to be condemned? Nobody ever raises their hand. And then the next question is, in the last 24 hours, how many times have you criticized someone or yourself even? You complained about something, or you've condemned someone or something, or even yourself. And most people go, right? Like they don't want to be around that person. And then we realize that we are that person at some point every single day.
And
that makes sense.
And again, against the backdrop of pandemic, there are many instances where you can be critical about something or annoyed about something. Like we have to wear a mask, you know, but we can also focus on the positive. Mm-hmm. So people may be worried about being on the subway, but as someone who rides the subway 5 to 10 times a day, they're cleaner. There's less people.
Yes.
You know, and for the most part, people are keeping their distance, you know, like this is what every New Yorker wanted for years. Finally get it. And like, I'm not taking the subway. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not if you take the precautions, you know? So I think this is a really powerful one. And for anyone listening, just pay attention to your own self-talk, right? Did you just make a mistake? And are you saying like, you're so stupid, Alex, you're so stupid, you know? Or you made a mistake and it's like, I should have done it like that. All right, that makes sense. And you move on. Or someone else that you work with, or your teenage son, if they do something wrong, it could be an opportunity to yell at them and like, no. But maybe it's an opportunity to really listen. Maybe they end up sharing something with you that you never knew was going on for them. And because you didn't attack them or condemn them, can't believe you're my son, you know? They just open up, and then you have a much better, richer, deeper relationship where people can actually get stuff done, right?
Absolutely. Because then people aren't walking around with their guard up with you all the time, right? Or principle number 10 is my favorite one, and it's the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it.
Wow. That's great.
Can you say that one more time? Because this is the one I need the most practice on.
Oh,
just repeat it slowly for all the people in the back of the room.
The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it.
So I want to share this story. I was at a happy hour about 6 months ago, and there was a guy there, and what he was saying was just factually incorrect. He was a friend of a friend. And I spent 10 minutes berating him. No, Joe, you're wrong. Like, it's not that. And by the end of it, you know, I might have won him over and proved my point, but the guy hated my guts, you know? So I think there is a time and place to choose when to, you know, I guess, you know, stand your ground, make your point. And this is a story from the book that is so good about this purpose. But Dale is at a friend's party, and the host of the party says, to be or not to be, that is the question. What a great line from the Bible. And then Dale goes, that's not from the Bible, that's Shakespeare. And the guy goes, no, that's from the Bible. You know, I know my stuff. And then Dale says to his friend, who's a Shakespeare expert, he says, can you tell this guy that that's not the Bible? And the guy goes, Dale, that's the Bible. Come on. And Dale's like, you know, and anyway, they're leaving. They're like walking home. And Dale goes, why did you tell that guy that it was from the Bible? That's wrong. And he goes, Dale, who cares? We're at a party. So the guy thinks it's from the Bible. What does it matter? What will I get by proving him wrong? I'll make him feel dumb. And then he'll feel like I'm, you know, better than him. It's a lose-lose. Yeah, if this was a classroom and I was the teacher and someone said that, then yes, it's my place to correct them. But, you know, when we are thinking about building relationships with people and really taking care of people that, you know, that we love or that we work with, or that are our neighbors, do we benefit from arguing every little point? Or do we benefit from just being a good person to them?
And you said something really important there, Alex, is picking the right time to have the conversation. Knowing
Right.
when, because that what that principle is not saying is never disagree with people. It's when is the right time to have the conversation, and make it a conversation, not an argument. And this is a principle I've been coaching people on a lot during the pandemic, because everybody's emotions are a little bit raw, a little bit higher. And so, you know, talking people off the ledge before they go into important conversations so they can have positive outcomes instead of negative outcomes.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that was good. Those are two great principles.
We have two. What else? Give us some other ones.
Yeah. So maybe we can blow through a couple of these just to make this call as beneficial to everyone that's listening. So number 2 is one that I actually do all the time. And I learned this a long time ago. Give honest, sincere appreciation.
Keywords: honest and sincere.
Right. So to your point, Karen, like if someone submitted a project and did it at their bare minimum, that's not the time to say like, oh man, you were awesome, you know? But if someone did something truly extraordinary and you say to them, I've never seen anyone ever do a job as well as you just did. Wow. You know,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
And you can really even take it deeper. It's not appreciating people for what they do. If you can start to appreciate people for who they are, you're going to build much stronger relationships with them. Because that's the core. Anybody can do anything at any time, but who we are is the essence. And when we can see that, and when we can appreciate that in other people, they feel that, and it builds that connection that we're looking to make with other people.
That's so powerful that you just said that, because I personally think I'm a funny guy. I was class clown of my high school, if you guys didn't know that. And I do feel was I still am. Yeah. You guys cut it out. Okay. I feel seen. I post a lot of stories on Instagram and stuff like that. And I try to be funny. And I feel really seen when people say like, that was really funny, you know? And again, like, they're not saying that was the funniest thing they've ever seen, or I'm the funniest guy. It's not, you know, blowing smoke, you know, it's just an acknowledgement of seeing me. Mm-hmm. And to your point, it makes me feel awesome.
Yep.
Right. So I think that the barista at Starbucks, if they go above and beyond, let them know. I had a doorman the other day just be like so on it and like, oh, Alex, here's the keys, and don't worry, I put the move-in thing here, and this person, that person's waiting for you. And I was like, Jason, you're awesome, man. I'm so glad that you're in the building now, you know? So, and again, when I said that, his eyes lit up. It was like I gave him $20. I didn't give him anything, you know? And I should have, you know? But like, that's the power of giving honest, sincere appreciation.
Especially today. You know, because there is so much worry, there's so much stress, there's so much uncertainty and unknown, that when people can be seen, it makes them feel important, which is another principle, right? Make the other person feel important. When we can do that, then we become that person that people want to be around. People want to do business with. People want to refer business to us. Like, do business with Alex because he is a great guy. That's how you and I did business together, right?
I found Karen in an apartment, everybody. That's how we ended.
That's great.
The perfect apartment.
Yeah, I know. It was a dream. It worked out. But like, that was the thing. Like, we connected as human beings. You saw who I was. I saw who you were. And we had a great working relationship. And then that's how I got into coming to take classes at Dale Carnegie.
Right.
I want to get through some because we're running out of time here. Some more principles. Number 5 is great. It's simple. Smile. I read a quote the other day that said, it's not just about going the extra mile. but also the extra smile. And it's something so simple. And in sales, I tell salespeople on the phone, when you're talking to people, smile. And the idea is that human beings can feel the warmth of a smile. And I know we're all on pandemic and we're all wearing masks, but I will say that when you smile, your eyes, your eyebrows, you know, your face has muscles that do things. And the human mind is wired in such a way that you can read that behavior.
Yes.
You can read that expression. So even if you're wearing the mask, you can still smile and you can see people's eyes, and it's a chance for connection, right? All of this is about becoming a better connected human, right? Yep. Number 6 is really easy as well. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. So the example that I like to use is when we're writing emails, it's very easy just to say hi or like hello there, you know, and it sounds so silly, but something as simple as writing hi Karen can make a big difference. And I think, you know, we've seen marketing change over the years. Original marketing, I don't think it's specified people's names. And now the best marketing, even if it's auto-generated, will still populate your name because people connect just that more personally to that kind of
right. And if you can get to know the names of, for example, you gave that example earlier about the doorman that was so helpful for you, right? You can get other people to work for you by making them feel important by using their names, right? Because they probably see multiple individuals like yourself, multiple brokers throughout the course of a day, right? And you're the only one that says, hey, Joe, how's your family doing?
It makes a big, big difference. And to your point, you know, I just want to share this little quick tip for people is a lot of times when you meet someone, it may be hard to remember their name. But if you develop a memory trick, it can help you develop, remember the name. And I met a doorman at one of the buildings I frequent. He's fairly new. His name's Robert. And I met him. And then when I came back, I forgot his name. And I was just honest about it. I was like, I'm so sorry. I forgot your name. What is it again? And he was like, Robert. And I said, Robert, you're the doorman of this building. You're like the general of this building. You are General Robert E. Lee of this building, you know, just as a memory game. And can I tell you, every time I go there, I go through that memory game. I'm like, you're General Robert. Hey, Robert, how are you? You know, because I see him, you know, you're meeting lots and lots of people. So if you guys are meeting someone and you get their name, what's a mind trick, a famous person that you connect them to, or, you know, they wear red, starts with R, Robert, you know, something like that. So we only have a couple of minutes left, and there's so many principles. So again, guys, buy the books, you know, talk to Karen about attending some of these classes, you know, but because there's a whole separate book about stopping worrying.
And how much
what was that?
I was just going to quickly say, like, how much is a class if you wanted to do a class, or how does that work?
So we offer open enrollment programs in New York City. And the flagship program that focuses on all the things that we've been talking about here today is called the Dale Carnegie course, Skills for Success. And it is, I'm not in sales, $23.95, I believe, for the 8-week program.
Okay.
And, you know,
and you guys are doing it virtually right now? Pandemic-wise, you're doing it virtually?
We have one on the schedule for September that will be face-to-face in person. As long as we're still allowed to meet indoors.
Very exciting. So hopefully that will work out, the in-person, but if not, the virtual is happening.
Yeah, if not, we have been running all of we've been doing virtual training for 10 years now within Dale Carnegie Training. So it's something that we pride ourselves in doing really, really well. And so, yes, all of the programs that we offer in person, we are also offering in a virtual format as well, with the exception of our public speaking program.
And when we share the video, we'll include information about the Institute so people can there, and anyone listening can definitely feel free to.
We're here
on the team. So before we wrap up, I do want to leave people with one or two quick tips about how to manage stress and worry. And I think one of the best ways is just by keeping busy. Can you talk about that, Karen?
Oh, it's so funny that you chose that one. We were delivering the Dale Carnegie course for teenagers recently. And I sat in on the session about stress and worry, where they were reporting back on which stress principle they used to manage their anxiety. And keep busy was the number one principle that these kids were using to manage the uncertainty that they're facing in today's world. Like half of them don't even know, am I going back to school? Am I not going back to school? Like there's so much uncertainty in their lives as well. That is,
if they're doing something every minute, they don't have time to worry. They don't have time to even think about the worry, And the last thing I want to share, just because I think it's super helpful, is remind yourself of the exorbitant price you can pay for worry in terms of your health. So when you're kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe this, I can't believe that, like what kind of impact is that having on your body? Especially in a day and age where your immune system, your health, your well-being, might be the key to surviving, So I just think it's really important for us just to be gentle with ourselves and not to use another one, but to live in day tight compartments. So something happened, something bad, you deal with it, you manage with it, but don't let it bleed into the next day or the next appointment or the next showing, or, something bad happened at work on a Zoom call. And then your family's in the next room and you yell at them. It's like, have that separation, and that understanding that, there's a better way to proceed, right?
And the final worry principle is create happiness for others. Because if you focus on creating happiness for others, then we kind of get ourselves out of our own head and our own problems and our own worries and all of that stuff. So that's another one I practice daily to stay focused on what I need to stay focused on.
Yeah, and
thank you for the time.
What a beautiful way to end it. Just
Thank you. It was great.
Life better. Oh, love it. Karen, Vincent, thank you so much for being here. If anyone's interested, please check out the Dale Carnegie Institute for Excellence here in New York City. Martin, you want to wrap us out?
Great. Thanks everybody for coming. Karen, it was super great talking with you. I love your smile. I'm leaving this meeting feeling better than I did coming into it. And that alone is a wonderful gift. So thank you again, everybody. Next week, I'll be on with Ask the Expert. See you then. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.